All right, y'all, what's up? I am here. Welcome to today's live. Be sure that you like, share, subscribe. Tell your mamas, your daddies, your aunties, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters, your cousin, everybody that you know, everybody that you see, to come hang out on live with KD. Well, God and KD on live daily. I am going to be behind the scenes doing my thing, kind of like y'all are. Make sure that you join a channel membership if you have not, because I have posted some members only content. I love doing some members only content. You can join the social club for members only live chats, and it's the Social Club, SOULCIAL. You can also join my fan club. I also do have membership tiers that you should definitely check out on my channel to help support me on this journey of giving y'all the best content that y'all have ever seen, because God is that's just what he wants to do, and that's what this channel is, a declaration and proclamation of all his goodness. So definitely tune in, tap in, subscribe, join a membership, all that good kind of stuff. So today we are going to do a live chat and react of Mr. More Money, More Problems. If y'all can see the poll in the chat, if you're mobile, whatever the case may be, definitely tap into the poll chat. Let me know how you feel about it. How you feel about is it really more money, more problems, whatever the case may be. But today we are going to talk about Diddy and his outrageous self. But before we do that, we definitely are going to tune into our Bible verse of the day. Happy 9/20. Happy birthday to everybody that's born today. It is September 20th. Happy Virgo season. Y'all know how we do. We are ending the end of Virgo season. While it's been so real, because y'all know how Virgos are. That's why Diddy got locked up during our season. Amen. Because y'all know we're the realest and the trillest and the illest to do it. Okay. But yeah, outside of that, happy 920 to everybody that's born today. We'll get into the Bible verse of today. Coming from Romans 9:20, we are reading from the New Living Translation for anyone in their walk of life of Christ, wherever they may be. The Bible verse of the day is in the description. You can definitely check it out, as well as any discount codes, any links, give you a little commission, donation, all that kind of good stuff. Also, join the channel membership. So, the Bible verse of the day says, "No, don't say that. Who are you, a mere human being, to argue with God? Should the thing that was created say to the one who created it, 'Why have you made me like this?'" You know? No, because God, we are wonderfully made in God's image. Although there are people like Mr. More Money, More Problem who does things that are not the best. And we're going to get into those things. So, y'all know I have my Watch Now, Watch Later playlist, curated by KD. I see a lot of y'all are tuned in, tapped in, as y'all should be. That's what I like to see. So this is just basically everything that I may see on YouTube that I may want to come back to because I may want to see something else, or may just not have time to get into it, may want to react to y'all publicly with things. We've already reacted to the whole him being taken in, custody, and him being arrested in a hotel. I'm like, I wonder if Chronicle Speaks has updated anything on this channel about this man. Okay, so it's more just about, denied bond after hearing, and he tried to call Kalina, who I told y'all is the bootlicker of the group, so that's why he tried to call her 54 times, if that is if that's the case. But yeah, I don't see where Chronicle Speaks has updated anything outside of our initial reaction to this, going down. I like the way that she reports, even though that she's not a journalist. So shout out to Chronicle Speaks. Like I said, y'all definitely tune in and tap in. Another channel that I do like watching on YouTube is Law and Crime. And Law and Crime has actually put out, some information regarding this case. So I figured this will be a good person to pick up where we left off at. And looks like one of the first things that I got into. We might also react to Auntie Regina. I'm not certain. If I have the time, we'll get into it. I'll definitely be back tonight because it is Friday. Happy Friday to everyone. I hope everyone is having an amazing day. So I'll definitely be back tonight for a nighttime, live chat and react. So if I don't get into RRG's video, y'all can definitely get into it because I want to do some more entertaining stuff for live chat and react. Kind of, about Ruby, Child, even as we can see Leora, Tia, who's also been talking about Rick Ross, who is her baby daddy, because stop calling her, she said, stop calling her his baby mama. That's her baby daddy. She's him and got her baby. So that's her baby daddy. But like I said, Law and Crime, this YouTube channel pretty much is good for what we're here for today, Mr. More Money, More Problems. So let's go ahead and pause this before it even begins, because I knew that it was going to have some type of ad break, and I'm not even mad at that. So while I'm talking, right, we'll let that ad play. And yeah, check out the Amazon links that I have. If you are someone that's on government assistance, y'all can get $3.50 Prime. I do have some other Prime links from Amazon. So yeah, y'all definitely check it out. Grab your treats, your snacks, whatever the case may be, whatever you need to come hang out and do this thing. I did make some chicken nuggies, so I'll be in the background kind of munching on them. Y'all know my ear has not been functioning as normal, so I'm trying to get it back to life. If you hear any belching, any hard chewing, anything like that, I'm trying to put some pressure on my ear. If you don't want to hear it, I do apologize. Not really, because y'all can just go to the Watch Now Later playlist, whatever the case may be, on my channel. Check out this video yourself. But if you hear from my commentary, God bless you. I thank you for tuning in live. We'll get the playback for this particular video reacting to sped up so we can kind of get through this, and let's do this. Thank you, God, for this day, and thank you for letting us be here, because we ain't even pray. And I'm about to eat this food, and I thank you for that too. And if they about to eat, or if they have already eaten, God bless their food and bless the hands that prepared it. Thank you for letting it be a nourishment to our body. Thank you for letting it be a good consumption of nourishment to our body. You are good. You are grateful. We are thankful. You are so worthy of all the honor, the glory, and the praise, rebuking anything that is not of your name. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Welcome, everybody. I am Jesse Weber, and we are coming to you right now with special coverage.
Okay, Jesse, because I'm like, I'm not used to seeing them. I'm used to hearing voiceover things. But I see they put something up 2 days ago. So we'll also go ahead and add this to our Watch Later playlist because I'm like, they updated. It's talking about 13 disturbing details. See, I'm not even certain if I'm ready to get into this. I know people have been asking me about it, especially because I kind of got started on the channel about it. But, yo, I'm not certain if I'm ready for this because, like I said, I've always known that this man is probably a monster, okay? Definitely a predator. That's what I can say about him as factual. But I'm like, probably a monster as well. So, yeah, let's see.
The arrest and indictment of Sean Diddy Combs. And before we get started, you hear that little noise in the background? There's a fire alarm going off. Timing could not be worse, but...
Child, if y'all heard the ringing that's going on in my ear because, child, yeah, my ear's going through it. I'm like, I gotta turn this up, y'all, because my ear's going through it.
It's okay. In my hands right now is the recently, I'm telling you, in the last 10 minutes, unsealed indictment.
No way, because this is where I left off at. This is the unsealed indictment. Yo, I wonder what charges they got him on and what was in it. They got it. They so nosy, and that's what I like to see. Oh my God. I am ready. I thought I wasn't ready, but now I am. Because when y'all come with the facts like that, that's why I'm like, Law and Crime is a good one to tune into because they come with the facts. And y'all know I only like to deal with the facts. We have our bloggers, the journalists, all that stuff, the people that give us the news, and we appreciate them. Outside of, the news anchors. But I'm just talking about people that are on the internet. That's what I'm talking about, bloggers, journalists, entertainers, whatever we want to call them. So I'm like, dealing with the facts when you come like that, that's what I like to see. Yeah.
Against Sean Combs, and I'm going to read it for you, and I'm going to go through it with you. I am breaking this down in real time.
And they ain't even call him none of them aliases that he like to be. They call him by the government name, okay?
Had a lot of time to really look at this. I'll give you my initial impressions, but remember, the music mogul, artist, producer, he's been arrested out in New York City. Reporting indicates that he was taken to custody last night by federal authorities at the Park Hyatt Hotel. This apparently...
Okay, and last night would have been the time that we first started watching this. Whatever day that was. This says 3 days ago, so that's when it would have been.
Comes after a grand jury has indicted him, which is not surprising. This is not something that we didn't expect. There was reporting for months that the 54-year-old would be the target of a criminal investigation.
Right. This is not something that we've been expecting. This is something that's long overdue because, again, we think he did something to Kim. And when I say we, y'all should be included. Because when I say me, that when I say we, it's, typically me, God, and Jesus. But when I say we, y'all need to be included because I'm almost certain he did something, Miss Porter.
Comes after his homes in Los Angeles and Miami were raided back in March. Now, he's been...
As well as Biggie, possibly Pop, anybody else that he ever felt like was in his way because something is wrong with the man. Something is wrong with the man. Even just to let your daughters be as... Well, I don't know. Maybe he thinks it's okay for them to be... like they are. Y'all, this chicken about giving ASMR. I tell you, I fried it and I tried because I air fry everything, but I used that grease today. Yeah.
With numerous lawsuits alleging sexual assault, sex trafficking, illegal narcotics possession, gun possession. Now, to be clear, we didn't know what the charges would be. We get it.
Right. That's what I'm like. Everybody was like, we don't know what it is. It's sealed, but they got it. And that's why I'm like, they got it. They got it.
And it looks like our guest was right, because as Mark Agnifilio, his attorney, said to the press today and last night, they were anticipating racketeering and sex trafficking charges.
To a certain extent, I guess they should have expected that. But to say, most people don't be like, well, I expect him to say X, Y, and Z. Unless you actually did something, because why would you even think that? To expect this. You're still supposed to act clueless. Y'all ain't supposed to be Cher or Gion. You can be Ty if you want to. Clueless. Pick a character.
And that is what we see in this grand jury indictment. It is 14 pages long. There are 3 counts. One that makes up the majority of this indictment is the racketeering.
It's the one finger for me, because they said one. I mean, whoever put this together, shout out to them. Because one is...
So let me go through it with you right now. Now, racketeering, by the way, I will tell you, this is similar to what we saw with R. Kelly, who, as we know, was also indicted.
Y'all, I really thought racketeering had to do with D-Rugs, but I'm not certain because I don't be doing stuff like that. So, let's see. Simply put means engaging, in an illegal, okay. Oh, child. Oh, so I thought RICO was about D-Rugs, but it's about anything. Oh, it's about anything. Like it says, it's not a specific. Oh, my goodness. Racketeering influence and corrupt organizations. Wow. Kidnapping. Oh, yeah, they got him on a couple of these things. If it's 35 to... Okay, yeah, and it's not a specific... Oh, they definitely got him on this one. That's really good. Type of organization in which perpetrators are set up to coerce, fraudulent, extort, otherwise illegal schemes or operations to repeatedly or consistently collect a profit. Ooh, yeah, he is definitely a RICO, honey. Ooh, wow. And you know what's crazy? Because every RICO that I've ever met has been bad. Like, every dude that has had the name RICO been in and out of jail, abusive, rude, fine, but still, every RICO has had a little hell up in them.
In federal court in New York, that was the Eastern District of New York, this is the Southern District. He was ultimately convicted and sentenced to 30 years in prison.
So wait a minute. So New York was the ones that got robbed, big robbed. Nah, and that's why they said, don't leave New York. Because apparently when New York get you, they got you. Ooh, hope Donnie ain't got no issues in New York. Please be safe, Donnie.
So racketeering, what we were talking about here is a criminal enterprise.
Jesus.
And a conspiracy to commit the racketeering statute is there's a criminal agreement, there's a number of overt acts, there's predicate crimes. So there's things that Diddy is not necessarily being charged with on an individual basis, but they make up this criminal enterprise.
I don't like that. Certain things that he might not be charged with on it. No. Because don't be trying to sweep that stuff under the rug to hold him accountable. Yes, but not to the full extent. I don't like that. If that's how they trying to work it out, no. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Because that's just not going to work for me. And all of this stuff up into one.
There's evidence that will show this is a criminal enterprise. So I'm going to go through it with you right now. Again, this is from the Southern District of New York. It says, overview, count 1, racketeering conspiracy. For decades, Sean Combs...
Decades? That's what they put in there? Because he reading. That bitch said for decades. They done had this man for decades. Because we knew what we knew. Right, y'all? Right. I know that's right. That's why I'm just like, for decades. Oh, my God. I mean, because I know they went back to 2008. But still. Oh, my God. To start off and say for decades, to make it that blatant and clear.
Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy, PD, Love. They always use his name throughout this, the different monikers. The defendant abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
Oh, my God. Every time I think I'm ready, I might not be, because although I knew this, for this to be in the indictment this is the first sentence. Like, they not playing. If this is the first sentence, imagine what the rest of the documents say. This is the opening statement. It is powerful. I can only imagine what the closing was going to be. As I said, I wonder what's going to be his, if the glove does not fit, you must acquit type slogan. I'm curious as to what he going to do, because I'm just like, they coming out the gate like, we got him. We got him. We got him. That's the meme that I'm thinking of.
To do so, Combs relied on the employees, resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled.
Now, that's what I said. Y'all need to go back and grab them employees. Grab the nannies. Grab the people that work for Rotten Nation. I mean, because I know I'm sure it's so many people that unfortunately have had to have been abused and violated from this man. But I know that there are some that are alive. Because, I mean, like we said, the main ones he tried to knock off. Like I said, I believe Kim. I believe Biggie. I believe possibly Pop. I'm just stating my opinions where they matter, my platform, and here we are. But they went and got them. That's what I like to see, New York, because Florida don't be good doing good journalism. It don't seem like they be trying to hit them, put the hammer down on them like New York do over there at Rikers Island. I can appreciate them giving him exactly what he's given to everyone else. Put it like that.
Creating a criminal.
At Vistaprint, we print signs so people can see your brand up.
All right, y'all. Now, Vistaprint want to sit here and act like they giving us some money. Let me not be a hater. Look, let me not be a hater. But they giving us the news, so we gonna give them this little ad time. All right, so it look like this one we can kind of bypass.
Why? Criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice.
Forced labor? Imagine have to work. First of all, you already know you don't want to work. Even though it is the music industry. But still, forced labor is crazy. I guess because, like Dawn said, he wasn't paying them. When he was making them do that Ciroc stuff with them, that man was not paying them. Why was he not paying them? We will never know. But forced labor, kidnapping is... Okay, it's one thing to say abduction, because abduction is any age. But a kidnapping is a kid. That's a kid. Oh my God. Child, found like they said robbery, bribery, and everything else. That's child terrible.
A few things here. One, Diddy is the Sean.
It's the one that they put up again. Whoever put the video together, check mark. They're doing their job very well, very, 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 very well. I wonder what this try free is and how I can get one for my channel. But be sure to subscribe. And hopefully the subscribe button lights up.
He's the only one who's actually listed in this indictment. He's the only named defendant. You have to wonder if anybody else will be cooperating with the government against him. Now,
Really? And that's why they saying he gonna bring other people into it. Maybe he is not the big fish. Maybe he is the little fish. And they're just bringing him in to get to everyone else. I don't know. Because I don't know what happened with that whole Epstein Island thing. But I do believe if they tell him, we will give you X, Y, and Z if you give us A, B, and C. And he is the type to say, I got that, you know. Easily rolling over on everybody like it's nothing. Easily rolling over, no problem. He is that type.
We'll let you know after a brief overview of this. I have not seen the specific names of any other individuals, including the people who filed lawsuits against him.
So, we know one case is federal. And he also fighting state. Okay? So if federally, per state, if they didn't even have to name anyone in this information, that means the state got their own information. They ain't got to ask nobody nothing. Like I said, it started off for decades. They've been compiling this information for decades on this man. And if no one else is named in this, they got a good amount.
But what this does indicate is they're trying to establish that there was a criminal enterprise, and it wasn't just him, it was his associates. And he is not being charged, I should say, with federal kidnapping or arson or forced labor, but it is a component of the racketeering case.
Wait, so no one is named in this information. And it looked like it's about 6 pages front and back. I thought it was going to be 60 pages front and back, but it looked like it's about 6 pages front and back of this indictment. And for him to, hold on, y'all, hold on. What's up, girl?
What's up, girl?
I'm on live.
Hey, live.
Hey, live. We about to mute y'all real quick. Hold on. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. My bad. I had an impromptu interruption. I ain't even gonna call Grace an interruption. I'm not gonna do my girl like that. But I am going to say Grace called and I had to chop it up with Grace just for a bit. Oh my goodness, y'all. Hold on. I'm sorry. Now this I do apologize for. Because one, we need to get through this. So let's go ahead and get through this so that way, because I'll be leaving in a bit. So like I said, one thing I know for certain is I will be back because, gosh. Let's go.
Let's move on. The defendant operated his business headquartered at various times in Manhattan, so you can see why Manhattan has jurisdiction here, and Los Angeles under a variety of United States-based corporate entities.
Oh my goodness. So they got him from LA, from New York to LA. That is insane to me. This man is crazy.
Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs Enterprises, and Combs Global. Corporate entities in the Combs business included, among other things, record labels, a recording studio, and they go on the different businesses that he has. At all relevant times in this indictment, Sean Combs, the defendant, engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse toward women and other individuals. This abuse was at times verbal, emotional, physical, sexual. As part of this pattern of abuse, Combs manipulated women to participate.
Verbal, emotional, sexual. No. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm so surprised, because I'm just like, no way. But obviously, duh.
In highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity with male commercial sex workers. By the way, that...
Male commercial workers. Bro, you gonna go get, oh my God, randoms. This man is
eerily reminiscent of what we heard from the person you see right there, Cassandra Ventura. Remember, she filed a lawsuit against Combs back in November of 2023, settled the day after. She had talked about these freak-offs. She had talked about being forced to engage in these kind of perverted sex.
And then they even calling them the FOs. Child. That man is a mess.
Activities at the behest of Sean Combs. So this is kind of making this up. You wonder if she's a cooperating witness here. At times, Combs and others acting in his direction made arrangements for women and commercial sex workers to fly to Combs' location. Combs ensured participation from the women by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support, and threatening to cut off the same, and using intimidation and violence.
So that's why they gave him that coercion one. Everybody want to open this. Why didn't women didn't do this? Why didn't women didn't do that? Why not? This man was holding them under so many hostages. I mean, if Donnie told a terrorist he sent him a picture of his house, baby, Diddy was definitely intimidating them people. Taking their phones, not giving them no money. Having even law enforcement on his side. Like they said, they were at parties. Law enforcement was there. Underage girls were there.
This is, by the way, characteristic of when we talk about sex trafficking, where you are forcing or coercing or threatening someone into commercial sex activities, or you're transporting them across state lines through coercion or different methods for illegal sexual activity.
Right. That's why I'm like, and he going from New York to California. Oh my God. This man is a mess. A mess. This is getting like Kenny. It's getting messy, messy, messy. Messy petty boo. Surviving Diddy and the petties, everything. Oh my God.
And so let's continue on. Physical abuse by Sean Combs, the defendant, was recurrent and widely known. On numerous occasions from at least in or about 2009 and continuing for years, Combs assaulted women by, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at, and kicking them.
And baby, that's just one thing I would never have been able to get jiggy with. At that point, my chicken crispy. Because at that point, when you physical with me, I'm kind of willing to go up against you. It kind of is my people against yours. But see, because I got people. Hey, gotta get it to the left of me. Stop playing.
Assaults were at times witnessed by others and included, this timing could not be better, what you're watching right now, one instance at a Los Angeles hotel in or about March 2016.
At least the socks. A towel with the socks. But she clearly trying to leave. And y'all, why don't these women leave? What it look like she trying to do? I guess he didn't want her to leave with them tapes. But still, she said, I'm leaving with all this stuff that got me on it. Yep. Like that.
Was captured on video and later publicly reported where Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a woman as she was attempting to leave. That is Cassandra Ventura. When a member of the hotel security staff intervened, Combs attempted to bribe the staff member to ensure silence.
Not everyone's life runs in straight lines.
Because I'm like, bribe. So he wouldn't say nothing. And that man ain't say nothing because I'm like, I know that's not right. I know that's not right. I know that is not right at all.
Violence. Combs' violence was also not limited to these women. It extended to his employees, witnesses to his abuse, and others. Again, I read the R. Kelly indictment before this to get a sense. These allegations are eerily similar to what he was charged with and what he was ultimately convicted with. And by the way,
And it's again, the employees gotta suffer this. And that's what I'm saying. People are like, why is it a big deal to call this out? Because not only are the women suffering in private, in his private life, so are the freaking employees. I couldn't imagine going to work and getting beat on. And the pay better have been good.
we were wondering about whether or not that video, which Combs, remember, he admitted it was him. He went on Instagram and said and apologized for participating in that 2016 video. He didn't deny it. And we were wondering if this would be a part of this criminal indictment, this federal criminal indictment.
Stupid.
Sean Combs, the defendant, used the Combs business, including certain employees, to carry out, facilitate, and cover up his abuse and commercial sex. That term is very, you're going to hear that a lot.
What? So, because it's one thing to be in this by yourself. But that assistant, even the one that Dawn called out, Dawn tried to said she tried to make it make sense for Mr. Predator self. Because I'm just like, oh my, again, I've left the businesses for having bad morals, bad ethics. Oh, the last job I just left, bad morals, bad ethics. I don't believe in what they stand for. I dropped out of college. When it comes to my morals, because I believe college is a scam. It would be one thing if it was actually useful, and I hate to say it like that, but just because of what it stands for, like I said, I just feel like everything deserves a trade, even teaching. I don't feel like that's something that you should go to college for. I feel like that's something they already got to get a teacher certificate after that. It should have just been a certificate job, and that's just what it is. I feel like only doctors, lawyers, there are certain degree professions that college requires. I am big on treating others the way that you wish to be treated, doing right by people, all of those things. And especially when it comes to business, I really stand on that. And so for his employees to be engaging in his acts for the money, possibly the fame and the lifestyle, I don't know, whatever it may be. But again, I have left for smaller stuff than the stuff that he's made them do. Once I just feel like I said, your morals and your ethics for your business don't align with who I am and who God called me to be and who God made me, I'm good. I'm literally good to go.
Commercial sex. Equate that almost with sex trafficking. Those employees, including security staff, household staff, personal assistants, high-ranking supervisors, and other close associates, acted as Combs' intermediaries, and their conduct was facilitated and assisted by Combs' control.
Oh, cause see, that's why I said go get the nannies. But see, again, this man has your address. He has your like when you're an employee of someone, they have so much of your personal identifying information that I could see why certain women were afraid to run, because even when I do have a job, I don't like that they have to have all that access to me. Like, why you need to have my social, my address, my like, I get it to do these background checks and stuff like that, but I feel like it should just be encrypted after that. I don't even know what it should be, but again, I just don't like having to give my personal identifying information to anyone, even if it's an employer, because there are some employers, not just him, and some of them might not even be on the level of nasty like him. And when I say nasty, I'm not just talking about the stuff that he does. I'm talking about who he is mentally, how he treats people, and I'm not just talking about the exploitations of this man. Just nasty all around, inside and out, literally, physically.
Combs business. Then it talks about the Combs enterprise, so this criminal enterprise. From at least in or about 2008, so you're going all the way back to 2008, through or on about the date of the filing of this indictment, so even to this day, the defendant and others known and unknown were members and associates of a criminal organization.
Not members known and unknown. And that's why everybody's saying he gonna roll over on everybody. Who coming out next, child? Who coming out? That's why we ain't heard nothing from nobody for real. They are scrounging, whatever the word is, behind the scenes. Everybody is trying to get as much as they can to get away so they don't have to worry about this indictment. He's not going to go down on his own, but the rest of these people aren't going to go down. They're just going to get crossed in a crossfire of testimonies, subpoenas, whatever the case may be. But he getting them charges. Or whoever, like I said, if he's the little fish and they're trying to catch the big fish, that's what they're going after. But we are going to have some more people come out. It is going to be, we're going to see a lot of people on those tapes. If they show those tapes, even if they just show the tapes to show the underage minors and blur their faces out and let us see who else is in the background of these parties. It's going to get real. It really is. And that's why I'm just like, I can't wait for it to unfold.
And associates of the Combs enterprise engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other things, sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, coercion and enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotics offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. A little bit later, you're going to see that he's also charged specifically with sex trafficking. But as I mentioned, all of these underlying alleged crimes can make up a racketeering case.
So basically, the state is trying to charge him with this RICO, which I can appreciate, because I'm like, I wonder what he'll get charged with federally, because he has his federal case going on. But, excuse me, I'm wondering, what they'll do.
Predicate crimes of a criminal enterprise. The Combs enterprise, including its leadership, its members, and its associates, constituted an enterprise. And by the way, let me just take 1 second as I'm reading this. This is also eerily similar to the Rodney Little Rod Jones lawsuit. He was one of the first people to file a lawsuit, former producer of Sean Combs.
Why is Cuba Gooding on that man like that? What the freak? And what is this on his arm? On his wrist? Bro, back up off this man. Back up off this man, for real. For real. There's no reason I wouldn't even want a female to be on me like this. I don't like nobody to be on me like this unless it's my man. Like, there's no reason he hanging on to this man like this. And this man is not reciprocating, but he's uncomfortable, because I've been, unfortunately, in a situation like this where somebody is way too close for comfort. But if I gotta stand up, it's gonna be trouble. Trouble. So you freeze. Oh, God.
Alleged violations of racketeering law. So he was the one who made those allegations, and again, very consistent with what we are hearing here. And again, constituted an enterprise as defined under the United States Code, and this is a group of individuals associated in fact, although not a legal entity. So you can have a criminal enterprise. It doesn't have to be Sean Combs, Inc. You have a bunch of people. They don't have to be incorporated. It can still be a criminal enterprise.
I guess that's good to know, because I'm like, child.
Combs Enterprise consisted of the defendant entities within the Combs business, including but not limited to Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs Enterprises, and then they go through a number of different entities and people known and unknown. The Combs Enterprise constituted an...
Not known and unknown. Which means them employees, them friends.
Ongoing organization whose members function as a continuing unit for a common purpose of achieving the objectives of the Combs enterprise. The Combs enterprise was engaged in, and its activities affected interstate and foreign commerce. It operated in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere. A couple things there. So now you see why this is being brought in the Southern District of New York, why they have jurisdiction. When you talk about common purpose, if you have been following us here on Law and Crime, and you have been following the Young Thug trial, a racketeering case, that is the #1 theme. The prosecutors in that case have been trying to establish that all of these underlying crimes were for the common purpose of furthering that gang.
They call them in a gang. We've been told y'all that. Y'all been doing decades of research. I'm like, what if something would have happened to that man? But if something would have happened, then I guess that would have been not so bad. Hate to say it like that.
Here, there is a common purpose of furthering the Combs enterprise. At all times relevant to this indictment.
And that's definitely the case, like I said, for profit. And it was definitely for him to be this mogul billionaire and put people like Carissa Young Miami Brownlee in our faces and everybody else that is just terrible. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but I'm going to say it like that.
Sean Combs, the defendant, was the leader of the Combs enterprise. Sean Combs, the defendant, and others known and unknown, participated in unlawful and other activities related to the conduct of the Combs enterprise's affairs.
I wonder if this law stuff can protect his kids. Because, like they said, the sons bringing these girls around for the quote-unquote buffet, which is disgusting.
These individuals included certain Combs business employees, such as members of Combs security staff, household staff, personal assistants, high-ranking supervisors, as well as other close associates of Combs. Now, we don't know if that's from digital evidence that they obtained. We don't know if those people around him are cooperating with the government, or we do not know whether alleged victims of Combs this is their perspective of who's been involved.
Right. But I am curious because, like I said, yeah, the state don't even have to name these people, which means they just have so much evidence. Again, they started off saying 4 decades.
Okay, purposes of the Combs enterprise. The purpose of the Combs enterprise included the following. A, operating a global business in the media, entertainment, and lifestyle industries, and talks about record labels, recording studio, alcohol, spirits business. B, preserving, protecting, promoting, and enhancing the power, reputation, and brand of Sean Combs, the defendant, as a musician, entrepreneur, and figure in the entertainment industry.
Yes, A and B make all the sense in the world. Yes. Yes.
Enriching members and associates of the enterprise, including its leader, Combs, and particularly those who demonstrated loyalty to Combs and willingness to conceal his crimes. Preserving, protecting, promoting, and enhancing the power of the Combs enterprise, including the power of its leader, Combs, through violence, use of firearms, threats of violence, coercion, verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual abuse.
And I get why they're saying it's a problem, too, because not only are you trying to get to the top, but you're literally hurting people along the way to get to the top. And that's not okay. Because it's one thing to work yourself and claw your way to the top. But to literally just step on the backs of people. Yeah, I get what they're saying. No, that's not okay.
I know I said this a lot, but I'm just going to say it one more time. This is all consistent with what has been alleged in the multiple lawsuits that he has currently been facing, whether it is Cassandra Ventura, whether it's Joy Dickerson-Neal, whether it's Jane Doe, whether it is Rodney Jones. So again, this is not entirely out of left field with what has been asserted against him. Another purpose of the enterprise, fulfilling the personal desires of Combs, particularly those related to Combs' sexual gratification, including the exploitation of women and the use of commercial sex workers.
Oh, Jesus. It's always commercial. Like, he don't go get the low end ones. I mean, they are, high end, but still. Where is the commercial coming from? See, that's something like I think it's a big fish, because it's just like, I guess when they say commercial, it's just like on is it Rush Hour when they went to that like geisha spot and you get like a buffet of adult women, to do whatever. That's one thing, because those are adult women that are making conscious decisions to do whatever they feel like they need to do. But again, it's the underage girls for me. It's the girls that have been kidnapped and all this other kind of stuff.
Enabling Combs and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise to engage in unlawful acts of violence, including sexual violence, sex trafficking.
To be anti-impossible.
Oh my goodness.
It's an attitude.
Okay. Because I'm like, this one we going to skippity skip.
All giving the best that you.
Trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, and it goes on. This one's interesting. Another purpose of this enterprise, securing absolute loyalty from members of the Combs enterprise, including through acts of violence and threats. And that, again, is something that we heard particularly in the Rodney Jones law.
I can see that. He'll do anything to not only get on top, but stay on top. Yup.
That he was allegedly threatened by the defendant. And then finally, the last purpose, protecting the Combs enterprise and its members and associates, including Combs, from detection and prosecution by law enforcement authorities through acts of intimidation, manipulation, bribery, and threats of retaliation.
Yep. And I feel like those police officers, too, need to be relieved from their duty. Because the fact that he could literally buy officers or buy whomever, whenever, is not good. Like, it's one thing to be like, I give you $100 if you, I don't know, stay open later or something. I don't know, but I'm just saying, to pay someone because you are not being a good person is not okay.
So that is essentially saying obstruction of justice, right? Okay. Now, the means and methods of the enterprise. How did they do this? It says among the means and methods by Sean Combs, the defendant, and other members. They used conduct and participate in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs enterprise. And there's a lot here. I'm not going to go through everything, but it basically says, one example, Combs and other members of the associates wielded the power and prestige of Combs' role at the Combs business to intimidate, threaten, and lure female victims into Combs' orbit.
No, they called it an orbit. Wow. To put Mr. Combs in these people's orbit is crazy.
Often under the pretense of a romantic relationship, Combs then used force, threats of force, coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sex acts with male commercial sex workers. This is where they talk about the freak offs.
Oh, and then they had to participate with the males and the FOs? Oh, I thought that was just him and Cassie. I don't know why. But I did not realize that other people had to participate in these FOs. Like, without his... Oh, my God. Wow.
And they go into a little bit more detail about the freak offs. During freak offs, Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant, sometimes unbeknownst to...
Baby, not obedient. Not obedient and compliant. Oh, my God. This man is nuts. Obedient and compliant. Insane.
Victims, Combs kept videos. He filmed of victims engaging in sex acts with commercial sex workers. Makes me wonder if that was what they obtained in those raids. Goes on, members and associates of Combs Enterprise facilitated the freak-offs by booking hotel rooms for the freak-offs, stocking the hotel rooms in advance with the required freak-off supplies.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, imagine getting a job and you have to do this. And that's how you have to make a decision to say the money is not worth it. Because he got them stocking and supplying him with everything that he needs to take advantage of whomever, whenever, wherever.
Including controlled substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linens, lighting, cleaning the hotel rooms after the freak-offs to try to mitigate room.
Not the linings. Now he brought his own linings. He said only the finest of when he freak off. Oh my God. That is crazy. He bought his own linen. I do the same thing, but not because of that, but because people are nasty like him. But at least he could bring his own linens to do his own nasty behaviors on if he's going to be in a hotel.
Damage, arranging for travel for victims, commercial sex workers, and Combs.
And they said arranging for travel for victims. They ain't even call them people victims. Because that's what you are, baby. You a victim.
So, honestly, you're talking about an organization here, an organized effort to facilitate these alleged crimes. Combs subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse to cause the victims to engage in freak-offs and maintain control over his victims. And again, there's a lot more here where they talk about this. This one. So this was important, too, because we knew that there were allegations of alleged illegal firearms possession. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise, including Combs security personnel, at times carried firearms. On more than one occasion, Combs...
is it illegal for him to have firearms? Because he is... But then again, why he didn't ever want to hold his own firearms? Because he do have everybody carrying except for him. Like he a felon or something. I guess because he really don't want to get his hands dirty. Child, that's kind of weak if you ask me.
Carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten others, including victims of and witnesses to his abuse, in or about March of 2024. During searches of Combs' residence in Miami, Florida. Is this fire alarm that important? Come on, guys. I'm going over the Combs indictment here. I think we're fine. Anyway, it says in or about March 2024, during searches of Combs' residence in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California, law enforcement seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers, as well as a drum magazine. Now,
okay, so I don't know what drum magazine is, But yeah, he wrong for defacing them serial numbers. Doing that stuff with them nugs, he is not right for that. That man is not right for that.
If you have been following us on Sidebar, you've been following us on Law and Crime, you know that is now one of the charges facing the second potential attempted assassination of Donald Trump. Ryan Ralph, in that case, has been charged with the federal crime of possessing a firearm that had the obliterated serial number. So,
right, because we need to know who this is, where it came from, make sure that it ain't got, like, because there's so many crimes that happen where they be like, I can't match the gun to the crime, or I can't match the bullets to, whatever the case may be. But it's just like, nah, you cannot get to just run around here and do whatever you think you get to do to people. Absolutely not. This man is unhinged. Literally unhinged.
And while Sean Combs isn't charged with this directly, it is part of the underlying criminal conspiracy, the racketeering case. I'm going to go a little bit more forward here. So he talks a little bit more employees, witnesses to his abuse, or others threatened Combs' authority or reputation, basically how he wielded power and influence to get people to do what he wants. Now, this is the section that talks about the racketeering conspiracy. From at least in or about 2008 through on or about the date of the filing of this indictment in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, the defendant and others known and unknown, being personally employed, associated with the Combs enterprises. This is more of a legal definition about what racketeering is. It basically says that's enterprise they engaged in and the activity.
Okay, because we got that.
To violate the racketeering laws of the United States. So there needs to be an agreement to violate the law, and that was to conduct and participate directly and indirectly in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs enterprises through a pattern of racketeering activity. And it consists of, and this is where they have multiple different examples of the crime. So multiple acts involving kidnapping, chargeable under the following provisions of state law. Multiple acts involving arson. Multiple acts indicted under Title 18 relating to tampering with a witness. Multiple acts.
Jesus, tampering with a witness. I mean, honestly, what does this man not do? What good does he do? Because I'm like, tampering with a witness? You should be ashamed of yourself at this point, sir. At this point, because you already got the napping and everything else, and then now we got this. It's just like, when are you going to stop?
Of forced labor, multiple acts related to sex trafficking. So these are all these predicate crimes that I talked about when you're trying to prove racketeering. The same thing was charged in the R. Kelly case. You recall with racketeering, he was charged with respect to underlying crimes of forced labor and things of that nature. So again, very similar. In terms of drug offenses, multiple offenses here involving the possession with intent to distribute or distribution of narcotics, and they go through a list of them, including meth. It was a part of the conspiracy that Sean Combs agreed with.
God, dog. That man say including meth. Oh my God. Again, what was this man not doing? Because that, sheesh. Oh, y'all, hold on. I'm messing stuff up.
When your operational success.
Oh my God, because I'm always trying to rush and get stuff done because I'm trying to leave the house but still do this live.
Charged with respect to underlying crimes of forced labor and things of that nature. So again, very similar. In terms of drug offenses, multiple offenses here involving the possession with intent to distribute or distribution of narcotics, and they go through a list of them, including meth. It was a part of the conspiracy that Sean Combs agreed with the conspirator to commit at least 2 acts of racketeering activity. You need at least 2 acts within the course of a 10-year span to ultimately be found guilty.
See, why is that the law that you need at least 2 over a 2-year or a 10-year span to be considered whatever he trying to say? Why is that the case? That part, that's why I'm just like, certain parts about these laws do not make sense. I don't know if they know that, but I'm here to tell them because I don't like stuff like that.
Racketeering, and this is a special section. Notice of special sentencing factor. From at least in or about 2009 up into and including in or about 2018 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, as part of his agreement to conduct and participate in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity, the defendant agreed to, in and affecting interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly recruit, entice, harbor, transport, provide, obtain, advertise, maintain, patronize, and solicit by any means a person knowing and in reckless disregard of the fact that means of force, threats of force, fraud, and coercion, this is described in a specific code, any combination of such means would be used to cause the person to engage in a commercial sex act. So it's kind of a sex trafficking allegation there, and I believe, and I don't want to misstate here, and I'm going to look it up real quickly, I believe that this is actually a violation that could carry 20 years in prison. I'm just confirming it right now.
Jesus. Now, I still don't think 20 years is enough for all this stuff that he is doing. Because I'm like, Jesus, 20 is not enough. This man is a menace. And I'm talking about like a terrible one. When I'm talking about villain of all villains, this is the villain of all villains. And I'm talking about like most villains are made because something had happened to them. I mean, clearly something happened to him too. They say his mama's child Child, like I said, just research that man and see who his mama is and why they say he is who he is, because it's child a mess. And I mean, to a certain extent, I do blame his mama for his upbringing, because she the got doggone mama. Who else I'm supposed to blame? I guess his daddy for not being there too, eh? I don't know where that man daddy was, so let me not say that. But I know they say the mama ain't innocent.
This is the racketeering conspiracy. I'll get back to that and double check it. But that was all. Everything I just went through was count 1 in the indictment. Count 1. So now here is count 2. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion.
Okay, so that was 1. And then now we on 2. Okay, so it's 2 counts. And this is just from the state. But the state doing pretty good. I can't say that.
Coercion, victim 1. Now, we don't know who victim 1 is. That person has not been identified. But it says, from at least in or about 2009 up into and including in or about 2018 in the Southern District of New York, the defendant in and affecting interstate and foreign commerce. And it goes through the definition of what sex trafficking is, by means of force, threats of force, fraud, coercion, as described in the U.S. Code. Any combination would be used to cause the person to engage in a commercial sex act, and attempted, aided, and abetted, and willfully caused the same person, Combs recruited, enticed, harbored, transported, and maintained a person.
Because I really do wonder who person 1, because I'm like, how many people is it? I'm so nosy. We're going to have to keep up.
And attempted, aided, and abetted, and willfully caused victim 1 to engage in commercial sex acts. So again, we do not know who this person is. We can guess as who they are, but you have to go through a number of these lawsuits. By the way, assuming that one of these people who filed a lawsuit against him is victim 1. Could it be someone else? We don't know. Count 3, transportation to engage in prostitution.
That's very true, because it could be someone else for all we know. It really could be someone else. I mean, I would say I would hope that it's not, but we also don't know, because I just don't see this man as a good man. I really do see him as a manster. I was trying to make monster and man do a little thing. Y'all know how I do.
It's also a kind of sex trafficking charge. From at least in or about 2009 up into and including in or about 2004, the defendant knowingly transported an individual in interstate and foreign commerce with intent that the individual engage in prostitution and attempted
Oh my God.
To wit, Combs transported, aided, abetted, and willfully caused the transportation of female victims and commercial sex workers in interstate and foreign commerce on multiple occasions.
Oh my God. And it's the fact that knowingly this is what you're doing. Well, I mean, but see, that's why I'm like, I don't feel like Robert should get as much, a hard time as he's been given, because there are people like Diddy who do this to people, and they don't do it willingly. They are doing this, by force. So I don't think that's fair.
With the intent that they engage in prostitution.
Because then people with Robert was definitely willing.
These, but I believe these could carry 10 years in prison. And then finally, so those are the 3 counts in the indictment. You have these 2 sex trafficking related charges, and then you have the racketeering charge. And then finally, it ends with the forfeiture allegations. You see this a lot in criminal indictments. It's basically suggesting that if you lose this case, if you are convicted, you will have to forfeit over personal property over to the government as a result of committing the offense alleged in count 1 of this indictment.
So if you lose, you have to turn over stuff to the government. I honestly, what? If you lose, you got to turn over your property to the... Because at this point, do y'all just need some property? Because what that got to do with anything? Because where you supposed to live? What they trying to say? Oh, because you obtained all of these things on the backs of hurting others. Got it. Me talking about what it's got to do with it. Just figured it out. All right, I'm with you.
The defendant shall forfeit to the United States any and all interest the defendant acquired or maintained in violation of the U.S. Code, any and all interest in, securities of, claims against, contract rights, and it goes on, or source of influence over the enterprise named and described herein. So basically, if you profited off of the criminal enterprise, you have to disgorge those profits, which is very interesting, because they're talking about him engaging in an enterprise that made money, that was involved in the music and entertainment industry, but was also involved in narcotics and different possession as well. Now it says, as a result of committing the offense alleged in count 2 of this indictment, the defendant shall forfeit to the United States, and that's pretty much it. You have a couple more provisions, but that's a good synopsis of what you're seeing in this indictment right here. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We have a lot more coverage here on Long Crime. Stay with us.
Okay, so that is pretty much all I have time for today. Not even today, for right now, because I am trying to do the next part of my life. and just saying do the next part of my life. But move on to the next part of my day is exactly what I'm trying to say. So I will be back live later on tonight. So definitely subscribe for the vibes. I definitely just wanted to see what was going on with this ZD case. Like I said, it was requested. A lot of people are like, what's going on? You know, when are we going to get your reaction of sorts? And I'm giving y'all some sorts. But like I said, I do have to go, but I will be back. So be sure that you are subscribed for the vibes. Y'all know what it is. Spread love, because that's what a real mob do. Keep it gangster. Look out for your people, because that's what real gangsters do. What's up, Cashley? Thanks so much for tuning into the live, even though I'm about to go. But I'll definitely be back later. I'm like, yeah, I need to leave in like 5 minutes. It's almost 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I'm about to skedaddle out of my house. I might come live with y'all and what I'm doing in a moment. Not certain if I will, but either way it goes, like I said, I will be back tonight. We're going to do our Course in Miracles before I leave, because our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you, as we are all meant to shine as God's children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God within us. And it's not just in some of us, it's in each and every one of us. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. With that being said, you know it's all love, baby. I'm going to see y'all in a little bit. Be good, be great. I'm like, that's really all I got to say. Toodles, y'all. KD is clocking out. I'll be back later, though.